This is the future Elon Musk warned us about. It's the year 2054. The Earth is polluted and vastly overpopulated. The climate has become hot and dry, while disease runs rampant through the dilapidated slums that the cities have become. Basically, the Earth turned into one big California. Those with some spare pocket change have fled the planet and taken refuge on Elysium, a Stanford tourist high-tech space station just beyond Earth's atmosphere. We see a young boy named Max and his young new girlfriend, Frey, living in the ruins of Los Angeles. The surroundings are now a vast desert. City people live in small shacks, while Max and his girl score a place in an abandoned church with a kind nun. Nice place. Would easily cost $2,500 to rent though. A room in the basement. Unlike a typical Californian, Frey can read, and she reads Max stories about Elysium. The nun says he is born for something great. Max dreams about getting to Elysium, but the nun says it's only for special people. Grandkids of those who bought Bitcoin in 2011. Max's granddad got his portfolio in early 2021, so he's still waiting for it to grow. Diamond hands. Hodl gang. He promises to take Frey with him someday. Frey takes a pen and writes M+F, which is Samuel L. Jackson's favorite word. Years later, Max is 36 years old. Still hodler gang. Max has a job while everyone around is Instagram influencers who make fun of him or ask for change. He's got some cool looking tattoos and an electronic ankle bracelet. I guess he's a trap rapper. He prepares to board a bus to get on his McDonald's duty when two security robots approach him. Max tries to break some robot balls but forgets they are metal, so he gets a bag inspection. They rip off his backpack and hit him twice, breaking his wrist. We call it a regular day in Compton. He's a criminal, a former car thief, and on parole. The wrong position to mess with the cops. Every Compton citizen knows it. Max goes to a local hospital where he accidentally meets Frey. What a surprise. Max asks her for a filtered coffee in Starbucks, but the girl prefers a real one and declines. At first, but who can deny the charm of a bald tattooed criminal? So she finally agrees. Max is ordered to visit his parole officer, another brainless machine. Max tries to explain the situation, but the officer doesn't understand what breaking balls and small talk is, so his parole is extended. The robot then offers Max a chill pill, but Max smirks and turns it down. He can't mix them with alcohol. Max works at Armadyne Corp, a company that supplies Elysian weaponry and the robots that police the Earth. The shift supervisor cuts half a day's pay for being late. Generous. I used to get a monthly payment cut if I sat on a toilet for more than half a minute. What can I say? Competition is harsh at McDonald's. Some lucky big shots on Earth manage to earn a pretty penny and buy themselves fake identification brands on their wrists. They board shack shuttles and fly towards Elysium. The same way I came to America. Nothing changes in the future. Now we see a French-speaking woman named Delacourt enjoying a classy Elysium living. She's the defense secretary for Elysium. A duty call interrupts a pleasant time. Unauthorized shuttles are approaching. Boys, you know what to do. Executive Order 355. In Compton, we call it 187. She activates a rogue sleeper agent on Earth named CM Kruger, who grabs a shoulder-mounted ground-to-air missile launcher and fires off 4 rockets. The rockets destroy 2 of them, killing all 46 people on board. The other shuttle dodges the rocket, makes it to Elysium, and lands. The rich got surprised to see fresh meat that immediately gets tracked by robots and helicopters. One mother and her daughter from the shuttle break into a house and find a med bed. The mom gets her daughter into the machine that immediately repairs her multiple injuries. Thanks, Obamacare. The manhunt resulted in 32 arrests and 13 casualties, with 2 at large. Guess who they are? Mother and daughter are soon caught, and all 34 prepared for deportation back to Earth. Meanwhile, Max's friend Julio tries to entice him to return to the dirt road of the auto theft game. The anticipation is huge since Max is an ex-theft legend, but he refuses. The man is dedicated to completing his parole and finding a way to get out to Elysium the clean way. It's the only way, bro. Keep it up. I tried the dirty game once and ended up being a YouTuber. You don't want the same. Plus, the butt hurts pretty bad after prison. Another day, another grind. Max is at his work when a pallet jams the door to the firing unit for the robots. The supervisor orders Max to get inside the robot's chamber and clear the door, or he'll get fired. Max has no choice but to squeeze into the chamber. He pushes the pallet, the door slams shut, and the unit powers on, giving Max a lethal dose of radiation. Unfortunately, this isn't a Marvel movie, so the outcome is less than stellar. Ouch. The same happened when I accidentally flipped my phone in a fritter. Well, it was the boss's phone, but he deserved it. Had to get it out with my bare hands. Colleagues try to get Max out, but the manager says it's too late, so Max gets dragged from the chamber only when the day is over. He gets sent to a medical unit where another droid tells Max some bad news. He will die in 5 days. Darn, Heisenberg at least had a year. Armadyne CEO John Carlyle goes to the production floor to see the emergency. Why is this guy lying in bed? A deadly dose of radiation. What kind of an excuse is that? Make sure the guy is fired before he dies. The robot gives Max some vitamin D to keep him physically functional until he dies. Meanwhile, Delacourt gets to President Patel, the boss of Elysium. The man is not happy with her methods. Bad for PR. Delacourt parries, saying she only did her job. Patel says he'll fire Delacourt if she screws up again. Well, I'm not an expert, but how would you defend the planet without customs? He also fires Kruger, and the man is not happy. He almost made an ultra kill. Julio makes him take some of the pills. Bro, you're in the desert. I don't think this will help. Max is dedicated to seeing Spider, the rebel behind the illegal migration, about getting to Elysium. Max is desperate because he needs a med bay to heal himself. We learn Frey has a young daughter, Matilda, who experiences seizures. Mom keeps her at the hospital, but she's ordered to get her home. No healing will help her anyways. A doctor without permanent access to the hospital is like a TikTok model without OnlyFans. You're doing something wrong. Max and Julio visit Spider, and Max asks for a ticket. I'll pay it off, bro. I have some Luna, and it'll soon grow. Nah, bro, it's been 100 years, but keep up the motto. Then Spider hears Max is literally a zombie. So you're dying? Got the perfect job for you. Of course, Max agrees. All Max has to do is plug a chip into the brain of one of Elysium's high-ranking officials, obtain their secret data, and Max will get his ticket. How will he do it? Well, that's a good question. Max agrees, but he wants Julio. Oh man, I didn't get enough sleep. This guy's name is Julio. Oh my god. Max agrees, but he wants Julio taken with him, and picks a target, John Carlyle. To help Max, who seems to want to speedrun his last 5 days, Spider attaches a 3rd-generation powered exoskeleton in Max's body. The exoskeleton empowers Max with the strength of a droid. Not a bad deal. Plus, he was already bald. It's not like his looks can get any worse. Meanwhile, Delacour meets with Carlyle to offer a deal. He must create a program that can override Elysium's computer core and give her the presidency. If it works, Carlyle will get 200-year contracts to provide essential services to the community of Elysium. So that's how voting works? Hack a program and make someone the president? I'll never believe that. Max gets an exoskeleton installed, bringing him into the world of Deus Ex. Still looks like crap. Meanwhile, Carlyle writes a cerebral defense and programs it into his own brain. He also encrypts it with an anti-hack system that would prove lethal to anyone attempting to download and use the program. I hope Max knows about it. Of course, he doesn't. He then boards a shuttle and flies to Elysium. Max, Julio, and a team of Spider's men arm themselves for some rich hunt and use 2 fast armored vehicles. They know when Carlyle leaves and they plan to intercept him. When the flying Bentley takes off, Max shoots an explosive device at the shuttle, which locks on near one of the engines. Boom! No Elysium for you, Rich. Explosive is detonated and the shuttle is forced to land. Delacour finds out about the news and calls Kruger as soon as she gets the news. Kruger demands that he be reinstated and 2 robot homies should be sent immediately. Deal. Max and the boys arrive at Carlyle's shuttle and engage with 2 defending droids. Delacour finds out one of the attackers is Max. After a brutal fight, he destroys one droid. Max and the others shoot the second droid and one of the men randomly shoots the minigun and wounds Carlyle in the chest. Nice shot, bro. Max goes berserk on the second droid, tearing its head off. Man, it should be painful hitting a piece of metal with bare hands. Max and his men begin hacking Carlyle, but something is wrong. They can't read the transfer data. No time. Kruger boys are here. Max tries to run but gets in severe pain, so Julio helps him. Kruger shoots one of the Spider boys. He immediately explodes. Darn, we got no chance against this. Then Kruger shoots and flips over Max's car, lands his shuttle, and stabs Max with a knife. This is fast. Kruger is about to give a -1 haircut to Max when Julio shoots Kruger in the neck. Nice one. Kruger answers by stabbing Julio with a sword in the chest. Ouch, that was bad. Max recovers and shoots at Kruger, but the latter uses a force field to avoid being killed, Star Wars style. Meanwhile, Delacour orders Max to be captured, but his brain be left undamaged. It's about time for the order, lady. Carlyle dies and Max escapes, but Kruger and the boys are still on his tail. A kind old lady hides Max under her cart filled with pigs, so he avoids detection. 100% sneak skill in Skyrim won't beat that. Kruger deploys 6 tracking discs that fly around the city searching for Max, while all our boy wants is to get home. Delacour helps by issuing a no-fly order for all craft in Los Angeles area, so that Kruger can search unimpeded. Kruger now knows the data deal. Someone just scored a fortune. Max goes to see Frey. He begs her for help, so she takes him to her home. Finally, he got in. All he had to do was get a deadly level of radiation and some severe injuries to score. Totally worth it. As Frey starts to treat his stab wound, she notices a tattoo he has, a circle and the letters M+F. After all those years, always. Samuel L. Jackson approved. Max gets healed and meets Matilda. Frey tells Max that Matilda has leukemia. Oh, so you have a kid? Well, not my kid, not my problem, says Max and leaves. But Matilda stops him and tells a story about a hungry meerkat. The meerkat befriended a lonely hippo to get some fruit. The story's point was to indicate how creatures in need can find ways to help one another. Well, it doesn't convince him and Max heads out. Don't blame the man. He's a dying cyborg. Not the best time though, since one of the search discs find Max. He throws a rock at it. Perfect shot. But it's too late. Kruger arrives at Frey's place and wants to know where Max is. What a troublemaker this guy is. The girl knows nothing, so Kruger takes them hostage. Max goes to see Spider and gets a one-way ticket to heaven, but there's a no-fly order in effect, so it's impossible. Spider connects to the port in Max's head and finds a reboot program for Elysium. One hell of a program. Spider says the info is crucial and can save many lives here on Earth, but Max realizes he can trade the data for his cure, and there's no need to work with Spider or any other pendejo from Earth. Little Spanish for you guys. Well, I'ma head out, boys. See ya. Max leaves, but Spider manages to plant some bugs on his body before Max realizes it. Meanwhile, Kruger's got some wifey plans with Frey. He's okay with children in the family. Max returns to where he knocked out the disc, looks into its camera, and tells Kruger to come get him. When Kruger arrives, Max takes a grenade and pulls the pin, telling Kruger he will blow his head off and destroy the reboot program if they don't take him to Elysium. But if they do, Kruger can take all the info he wants. Sounds like a great deal, so Kruger invites Max on board the shuttle. Oh hey, Frey and Matilda. Guess we'll get to Elysium together after all. Delacour opens the sky. Spider learns that Max is on a shuttle to Elysium thanks to the bug. Oh, you just can't live without him, huh? Something so attractive in this baldy. Everyone keeps chasing him. Kruger doesn't lose time either. He confronts Matilda and kisses Frey, calming the girls. He promises to help Matilda. When one of Kruger's boys approaches Frey, Max tells the guy to back up. It was a trap. Kruger grabs Max's grenade. Everyone begins to fight and the grenade wanders around, chilling. Positive vibes. Then it finally blows up and transfers all the best vibes to Kruger, destroying half of his face. The shuttle loses control and crashes on Elysium. Delacour uses the situation to capture Patel and gets in charge. So you didn't need to hack anyone after all? Max opens the shuttle door so Frey and Matilda can run away. Meanwhile, Max has to fight with the bad guy on the shuttle. The second bad guy follows the girls. No support from these women. Do this, do that, and when you do, they run away. Keep that in mind, brothers. Frey places Matilda in a med pad inside the mansion, but since Matilda isn't recognized as a legitimate citizen, that won't work. Kruger's goon arrives. Frey begs him to help her daughter, but the man is a Sigma male and instead tasers Frey. That's how we Sigmas roll. Max ends up getting tasered as well because he's a beta. Delacour wants the data extracted from Max's head, which her expert tells her will kill Max. You can play volleyball with his head. I don't care, Delacour says and leaves. While everyone is too busy with the dead meat, Spider calmly arrives and searches for Max. Kruger's boys take Frey and Matilda away. They put Kruger in a machine that completely reconstructs his face and head in about 30 seconds. He then wakes up looking like Captain America. Amazing! You can now film Marvel trash for the rest of your life and never fall into hunger. Max is not ready to lose his brain, so he breaks loose from his bonds and disables the 2 lab techs. Delacour approaches Kruger and schools him on his parking skills. The man got sick of it. Too many girls whining today. He smashes the mirror, picks up a large piece, and jams it into Delacour's throat. Guess Elysium will indeed have a new president today. Kruger throws Delacour into the room with Frey and Matilda. Kruger's bad boys start roaming around, tossing grenades to take out Elysium's command and control structure. Matilda wants to treat Delacour, but she instead prefers to die. Very cool. Max calls Spider and they come up with a cooperation plan. Will those two be able to work with each other without a sudden backstabbing? We'll see. Max then heads for the armory and takes the last of his vitamin D. Well, he's still alive, so I guess it worked. Kruger now wears a superior military-grade exoskeleton, upgrading the wardrobe on the first day in the office? Classy. Then he orders his goon to kill Frey and Matilda. The boy had some husband-wife plans on Frey, but Max got them too, so he slams the poor fella. The second bad boy comes in shooting and Max grabs a gun and kills him. Whoa, this vitamin D kicked in at the right time. Max sends Frey to the surface with Matilda, saying she needs to get Matilda to a med bay. Max teams up with Spider, who sends one of his men to help Frey. Not so fast, Mr. Kruger here. He blows up one of Spider's men. Some high-frequency sounds are broadcast, which disables Max, as he can't bear them. Kruger keeps up and an epic fight on a catwalk begins. Spider tackles Kruger before he can stab Max. Kruger loses his sword and jams a knife into Spider's hand, and the latter takes it out. Max and Kruger engage in hand-to-hand combat. Max is losing it, but then suddenly executes a body flip and disengages Kruger's exoskeleton power source on the way down. That was a long sequence. I wonder if I beat Eminem's speed record. Kruger clips Max to a railing and then pulls the pin on a grenade, intending to blow them both up. Why did they all try to self-delete in this movie? Max pulls himself loose and flips Kruger over the railing. Beautiful explosion. Spider connects to the port in Max's head at the same instant that Frey flips the switch on a medbay containing Matilda. Spider first confirms that if they proceed, Max dies. Max agrees to self-delete, but first he talks with Frey and tells her goodbye. He then presses enter on Spider's computer, just as President Patel arrests Spider. The Elysium reboots, and everyone on Earth becomes a citizen of Elysium. Max dies, Spider is free, Matilda is healed, and numerous aid shuttles are sent to Earth to help the new citizens. Yep, just give everyone a home in Hollywood. That's how we deal with all the problems. Now that's what I call a happy ending. Moral of the story? Elon Musk.